Okay, now the second part of this problem. So last time I was trying to convert these two loops into link expressions, which seemed to be a more elegant way to do the same thing. So after quite a bit of trial and error, so we finally got to this, which works. So what we are doing here is, this is the input chart array. First, we group them just by each value in the array. So we have uppercase letters, so we're gonna group them by letters. And now all the A's will be in one group, B will be in one group, C and D and so on. And then we do group by the count of each group. So we had two groups after the first group by, and then the count is 3. So they're both 3. So both of them will end up in the same group because they have the same count. And in this case, A has count 6 and the rest only has count 1. So these will be in the group that has count 6. And all of these, which end up in separate groups after the first group by, will now be in the same group after the second group by, because now it's grouping by count and they have the same count. Okay, so now we have all these groups grouped by count, and we do order by descending, which will give us the, because we are looking for the group that has the highest frequency. So when we do that, we are gonna end up with the group that has the highest count to be at index 0, to be the first one in after this. And how are we ordering this? We are ordering by the count, which is the key after this group by. So if you look into it, if you look into the details, when you are grouping by count, that ends up to be the key. And what do we have after these 3 steps? So now we have the group with the highest frequencies in the beginning, and that could include several groups that have the same highest frequency, like in example 1 and 2. And if we had CCC, that would also be in the same group because they all have the same highest frequency. And now we take the first one, so we just discard the rest because we only need the group with the highest frequency, and we do to array because otherwise it will return us this complicated data type that's enumerable, I believe. So now we have what we need in this variable called grouped, or I should probably rename this to be, so this is essentially the groups with the highest frequencies, but it's a long name, grouped highest. Okay, let's leave it as it is for now. So we need to know what the highest frequency is, and that we could do by taking out any of them, essentially, because they all have the same highest frequency. So we just take the first one, we do index 0, and then we do count to just count what the highest frequency actually is. And that goes into the highest variable, which is the same as above. And Now we also want to know how many are there that have the same highest frequency, which is in the count variable. And that is simply just how many there are in this grouped variable. So we just do grouped count. Now we're done with the link expression. So this is doing the exact same thing as these two for each loops. And then we have the same calculation. And this will be accepted as well. So, okay, so that's it for the link expression. Now let's have a look at other solutions. Maybe there are better ways to do this. Let's see, related topics. That usually gives a clue on the data structures or algorithms we should or could be using. Okay, array, hash table. Interesting. So we could have solved it with dictionary in some way. Okay, greedy. Sorting. Heap. Priority queue. Oh, very interesting. It seems like we're gonna have a lot of different solutions. How would we use a priority queue? Priority queue. Okay, so we could use a priority queue in order to always keep the group that has the highest frequency on top. Okay. Let's have a look at this. Java, linear time, constant space, one pass. No sorting. Oh, that's very interesting. The key is to find out how many idols we need. That is not how I approached it. Cool. Okay, let's just have a peek at the algorithm first to see if it's the same idea. Okay. That's the same idea. Max count. So that is the same idea here. Okay, if max is equal to that frequency, we are doing max count 1. Okay, so they want to get the max frequency at the same time as looping through instead of doing it afterwards like I did. Okay, else if it's smaller, max is equal to that. That'll be the current frequency. Not quite sure what this part is doing yet, because I'm not quite sure what this is denoting. Okay, part count, part length, empty slots. Okay, so that is definitely another way to approach it, because it's trying to calculate idles. Oh. I mean, this looks to be the same solution as mine. So it's counting frequencies and also get the maximum at the same time. And then it's counting how many of them are the highest frequency. And for each one, we add another one to the answer. Yes, so this would be the same solution as mine. So now I'm not sure if I should be spending a lot of time to read through all of this, because it's not necessarily a better approach than mine. And I also need to get lunch. I'm hungry, so I don't want to spend another half an hour there. Okay, let's see if we have something else. An ordered map. Okay, that's the same solution. So instead of getting the maximum right away, they're doing a sort, and then they are getting the last one, which is the highest frequency. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so same approach. Oh, here we go. Now we have one with priority queue. Let's see. We have a hash map. Okay. So this is the frequency. And then we have a priority queue. And what is it doing? If it's not the same value, we are doing b minus 1. Otherwise, we are doing a minus b. Okay. Not quite sure what that is for yet. Oh, at all. So I guess what it's doing is to find the ones with the same frequencies. Because if they have the same frequency, they will be that will be 0. Frequency sort. Okay. Well, the priority queue is not empty. Alright, I'm feeling like this is a more complicated way to solve this. So maybe this time I would just skip this solution, but usually, yes, we should try to look at different solutions and learn as much as we can, but okay, for this specific problem, I'm not gonna spend more time on this, I think. Okay, let's look at one more. Okay. Alright. I think I'm happy with my solution for now. I think it was a pretty good idea. Yeah, and it is in line with most of the top solutions, so I think this was a pretty good approach. Yes, if we actually had this at the interview, that would be like one of the better times. Alright. Okay, so that's it for this one. I will see you in the next one.